On a silent December night, an entire city went to sleep, never knowing that many would not wake again. Today in world history, December 3rd, 1984, the world witnessed a night so silent, so deadly, that its memory still hangs in the air like a shadow that refuses to fade. This was the night of the Bhopal Gas Tragedy, the deadliest industrial disaster in human history. It happened just after midnight. Most families were asleep, children curled in bed, fathers locking their shop doors, mothers finishing late-night chores. No one knew that above them, inside a pesticide factory, a chain of ignored warnings and failed safety systems was preparing to change history forever. Then it began quietly, invisibly. A toxic chemical called methyl isocyanate started leaking into the air. A white, burning cloud rose into the night sky, drifting over rooftops and slowly sinking into the streets where people lived. Within minutes, thousands felt a burning in their eyes. People woke up coughing violently, unable to breathe, unable to understand what was happening. Parents tried to wake their children, but many children were already unconscious. Families ran outside for air, but the streets were already filled with poison. Panic spread like wildfire. People stumbled through the fog, searching for help, searching for direction. But the gas was everywhere. It filled the lungs of the old and the young. It blinded eyes. It burned skin. It silenced voices. By dawn, thousands were dead, and over 500,000 people were affected. The world stared in disbelief. How could an entire city be brought to its knees in just a few hours? Investigations revealed a painful truth. Safety systems in the factory were broken. Valves were corroded. Warnings from workers had been ignored for years. The company had cut corners to save money, and the people of Bhopal paid the price. But beyond the disaster itself, the world learned deeply from what happened in Bhopal. Governments across the globe rewrote industrial safety laws. Environmental protection became stronger. Powerful countries began forcing companies to take responsibility for the lives around them. Workers' voices once ignored started to matter. Communities around factories across the world became more aware, more protected, and more respected. That is the positive side of this tragedy, the courage that followed. Doctors, volunteers, and ordinary citizens risked everything to help the victims. The world united in grief and demanded change. But the negative side remains heavy. Many victims never received justice. Generations still suffer health problems, and the scars of that night remain etched into the souls of families who lost everything in minutes. So why does this matter to our lives today? Because factories still operate near homes, companies still cut corners, and the world still faces dangerous chemicals every single day. The Bhopal disaster reminds us that human life is fragile, and that one careless mistake can echo across generations. It teaches us that safety must never depend on luck or profit, and that communities must always be protected no matter how powerful the companies around them are. This tragedy reminds us that the cost of neglect is always paid by the innocent. And in a world filled with industries, chemicals, and silent dangers, we must never forget what happened on that December night. History is not old. History is living inside us. One day, one event, one lesson. Mr. Feedy,